hands. Hey Royal, how are you? You have to, you first of all, stop calling them negative women. That's number one. Number two is that you can't expect people to change, Mike, in order for you to feel better. So that's the key. The key is that you're waiting for these women or these people in your experience to change so you can feel better. But you have to take responsibility for the fact that you create your own reality. So that's first. It's saying, okay, I get it. I create my own reality. I'm seeing this in a negative way. So it's all perception. And when you're in lower energies, we perceive things as negative. So it's all about taking that step back so you start to feel better and see it in a more positive way. So it starts with feeling better on your own first. And then you start to see the shift. So just look at it like this, Mike. Everything in your experience is just a reflection of you. Everything in your experience is a reflection of you and your beliefs. So you have some out of sync beliefs right now that are giving you're seeing things as negative. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? So it's like really about understanding that first. Everything in my experience is just a reflection of me. So I got a wonky belief there, right? So that's where you want to start focusing on you more. Start finding ways to fill up your own cup. Hi, Tail. You manifested me today. I was definitely going to do a live today. I'm getting ready for Easter, so I was busy yesterday. But I was like, all right, I'm going to squeeze that in today, even though I have some stuff to do. And when I do my Zoom calls in my membership, I can't do a live at 2 because it's like I get exhausted, just like tired from talking. So, hi Faith, how are you? I used to get that all the time, Titans. Julia Roberts. That's so funny, Tail. You called me. I want to go tanning. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go tanning. I'm getting so pale. And I was like, should I go tanning first? Because I haven't gone in so long. I was like, should I go first or should I do my TikTok first? And I was like, you know what? Let me do the usually I would go tanning first. But I'm like, let's do the live first and then go tanning. So that's what I always say, Mike, when you're saying, how do I get negative people out of my life, or how do I change the negative people in my life? I first have to explain to you that everything in your experience is a mirror. It's just a reflection of your beliefs. So you have out of sync beliefs, and that is in that moment we have to take responsibility for that. Okay, I want to acknowledge that this is me having this experience with my beliefs, and it's time for me to move towards better ones. So it's one of those things where, like, it's time to take responsibility for anything that doesn't feel good in our experience. So just acknowledging that is a good thing, right? Because now you can't blame anyone in your experience anymore. You can't blame anyone, right? So that's freedom. You know what? It's all me now. I can't complain to anyone. I can't blame anyone. If I don't like something in my life, I have to be the one to change it. I'm the only one that can change it. And the thing about it is, guys, is it's not hard to change it. It's not hard to change it. It's all energetics. It's all raising your energy. It's all doing practices to feel better. I know. They're like, they're pointier. I actually love them. So I used to be a square girl, like square nails. And thank you, by the way. Who said that? Tommy? I've been with this one for 18 years. Yeah, so it's one of those things that, you know, we can't blame other people. I can't really help anyone if they can't see it that way. That it's me and I create my own reality and I want to move towards best and better. And if you're going to keep blaming other people and saying it's them and no, this is the exception, then I'm not the person for you, because my practices are taking full responsibility for your life, knowing you create your own reality, because that's going to lead you to freedom. And that's going to lead you to what you truly want, which is happiness within, fulfillment within, self-empowerment. But you're giving your power away. Think about it. When you're saying, oh no, that it's all her fault, it's all his fault, you're giving your power away. Think about that. That's not self-empowerment. That's saying, like, they're making me feel bad. They're making me feel bad. That's making me feel bad. That's making me feel bad. That's shrinking yourself. That's shrinking your, and otherwise saying, you know what? No, I can feel good no matter what because I'm awesome. I can feel good no matter what. I don't need people to be a certain way for me to feel good. Psh, no way. I can feel good anywhere I go. I don't need people to, you know, behave in a certain way so I can feel good. So you got to, like, think about it like that, really, you know, and that can help you too. Yeah, and that's what I said, Erin, like, as long as you're open to it, right? That's what I tell people. As long as you're like, you know what? I kind of like what she's saying here. Like, I might not believe it right now, but I'm going to keep doing these practices because I'm curious to what she's talking about. I want to try this out. I want to do these practices and see what happens. So if you're not happy in your life, you want to do these practices because you're just going to keep repeating cycles. And I tell people, like, you know what? You'll get to that point where you realize enough's enough. Like, even when people bring in the manifestations by doing techniques, you find me later because you're like, whoa, I'm getting these manifestations. I'm actually doing it. I'm doing these techniques. I'm persisting in new thoughts. I'm manifesting. And I got to do the inner work. Call it inner work. You have to do the inner work. So do the inner work first and know that what you want's done. Know that your most abundant timeline's done, because guess what? It all will take care of itself. Everything will take care of itself. You'll realize you don't really got to do anything. It's not hard. It's easy. It's effortless. But you want to get to a place where you're feeling good. And you're able to say, if I'm not feeling good, all right, I'm good right now. What am I blaming right now? What stance am I blaming for me not feeling good right now? Oh. My connection went out there, guys. I don't know what I was saying, but hi, Claudia. Yes, exactly, King. King says, never put your happiness in someone else, and because you'll always be disappointed, Abraham used to say. Whenever you're depending on someone else to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. It's not saying that people can't, you can't have great relationships and have good times with people, but it starts with you, and then that follows. That's a byproduct of your happiness. The more you feel good, you get those reflections back from others. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lalani. But it's not hard. It's not hard, right? Thanks, Tommy. It's not hard. Oh, happy Easter to you too. It's not that it's hard. It's reprogramming your mind in a positive way, right? It's a mindset shift that happens. When you start doing these practices, it starts to click that, wait a minute, it's all me. But that's freedom, because you won't get mad at yourself. The thing is like, I talked about this in the Zoom yesterday, how like I had a scenario not too long ago where I reacted for a moment though, but I knew the difference because I didn't hang on to it. I actually stayed calm in it. I did good. I did better than I used to, because I used to be very I used to be quiet and calm, but if something something came up in my face, I was like, don't you dare talk to me. I was very defensive, right? So I learned that if I keep doing that, it's very simple. It's very simple. Thanks, Mike. If I keep doing that, they're the experiences I'm going to have in my experience. So it's not about, I try to tell people this. It's not about like, if you want to defend yourself, that's okay, but you're going to have those, you're going to constantly be presented with experiences that give you an opportunity to defend yourself. Where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So in order for me not to have those experiences, I had to stop reacting in those moments, right? I had to be isn't being really super sweet in this moment, but I got to find a way to deactivate it, because otherwise I'm going to keep attracting those types of experiences in my reality where someone's going to cut me off and be like, yo, 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 and screaming at me. And I'm going to, listen, I told you, I was telling the girls in Zoom yesterday, I'm like, I don't know who I thought I was, getting out of my car, screaming at people. Well, I know now that don't do nothing. That just keeps those situations and scenarios in your life. Right? So you got to find a way to deactivate it in those moments. So I started staying really calm. I was staying pleasant. It still bugged me a little. I was a little reactive, but then I would just get out of that situation. And the more I did that and stayed calm in those moments and used it to my advantage, I wasn't experiencing that in my reality anymore. And when I was, this is the difference. This is what I tell people. They say, I've been doing your practices for a while, but I'm still, the same experience keeps popping up. The same circumstance keeps popping up. And I say, well, that's the thing. It's going to keep popping up, but you got to keep doing the same practice of quiet, calm, relaxing your body. You're not relaxed yet. You're still reactive to it, right? It's still affecting you. It's still bothering you. You're going to know in time when that pops up again, you're going to be like, whoa, it didn't hit me the same way it hit me. I'm not super affected by it. I kind of feel like I'm bothered by it. That's when you start to see it leave your life. So that's why you use everything in your experience to practice non-reaction, to stay calm and quiet, right? Bae, it's because you probably have too much going on in your mind, Bae. So relaxing practices, quieting your world down, Bae, along with doing like slowing down your energy, taking times to settle down throughout the day, Bae, it's going to change your life. Because when people tell me that I've been I love listening to your practice. I mean, I like listening to you or whatever, but it's hard to do all that I say. But I'm only really telling you to do one thing, and that's relax, and that's stay calm, and that's stay quiet. So it's really quiet, calm, and relax. It's the settle down. It's the constant settling down. And that's all you have to do, but that's all you have to do for a good bit. And it's only one thing, but you just got to be consistent, and you got to remind yourself that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, guys. Like, I can tell you right now from all the things that I've manifested and moved towards, that it will always be the same thing. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. Whenever you think you should be somewhere else, that's another lie. That's another limiting belief. That's another program. You got to remind yourself, no. You got to settle yourself down and say, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be now, because you are. Because you can only be where you're at. And the practice is settling into that and knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Because you will always be you're perfect in this moment. Everything is perfect in this moment. Everything is going according to plan in this moment. You will know what to do. The more you do these practices, you will know when to start doing this or to do that or to take that type of action. You can't make a mistake either. I talk about this as well. I've been thinking about this topic a lot, and I brought it up in the Zoom yesterday of how I manifested working from home and how I took action because I was still learning this, and I did affirmations and I got it. I worked from home. It was like, when I really think about it, it was pretty unbelievable how it happened, honestly, the story. Now, I found myself like still not happy though. So I continued practicing non-reaction, right? So basically I was limiting myself to what I thought I could have, but you can only experience what you think you can have. So you can't make a mistake in any of this. You just keep doing the practices because you start to see how unlimited you truly are. You start to see what you can truly have, which is anything you want. You can experience whatever you want. And the more you do non-reaction and do this quiet, calm, relax, settle into this moment, my practices that I always talk about, the relaxing practices, you start becoming more aware. Like, whoa, I can have a lot of things. And you start realizing I create it all. It's easier to take responsibility as time goes by. At first, it's not. It's just a habit. It's just a pattern. It's just a behavior. Trust me, this one practice will get you to a place where you're actually so free when you say, I am so glad that I know this is all me now. So you do make that shift where taking full responsibility is freedom. It is pure freedom. And you don't hang on to things quick either, guys. Like when you find yourself dipping and you know, okay, this isn't serving me, this thought isn't serving me, and you move past it real quick, right? Where before we would be like, oh, let me figure this out. You get lost in it. Well, you become more aware. You become more aware. Yes. So quiet would be, so Faith says, when you tell people on them to watch their inner outer dialogue. Yeah. Because the reason why I say quiet all the time, Faith, and I say it in caps and I write it down in caps, is because I want people to stop venting and texting and asking their friends for advice or complaining about that situation. So it kind of starts with that, which I know you're past that, Faith, with the venting and all that. But yes, now quiet is just for you. You know, you've been doing it. It's just relaxing and calming down that feeling, right? We know it's a thought first, but by making it about how you feel, you catch it quicker. So you really want to make it about how you feel, make things about how you feel, make life about how you feel. Because what happens is you catch those moments quicker. It's easier. It's easier to make it about how you feel. It's hard to be on top of all your thoughts. We think too many thoughts, but you can make it about how you feel. It's easier. It's quicker. That's why when you hear me say, make it about how you feel, make it about how you feel, Abraham used to say it, that never made sense to me. I had to keep practicing it over and over again. That's why you're doing my practices. They're making it easier for you to make it about how you feel, right? Instead of trying to change your thoughts. You ever hear a mental diet? You don't have to do that with me. You don't have to do a mental diet. You're able to be on top of your thoughts just by making it about how you feel. So that's why I always say it. Right, Faith? Yeah. So it's really about really quieting your world down, moving slower. That's why all these practices are so powerful. You're moving slower, you're breathing slower, you're taking your time, you're taking breaks, you're settling down throughout the day, right? You're just sitting with your own thoughts. You're sitting in that silence, sitting in that stillness, relaxing your shoulders. Doing those types of practices are helping you make it than trying to be on top of every single damn thought. We have way too many. Exactly, Faith, exactly. And you start, and the momentum picks up, more positive momentum picks up in your life, right? So for me, more positive momentum picks up, and I'm able to focus on make the best of that thing, right? So I'm more organized in my day, you could say. You could use the word organized, more disciplined. So like if I wake up in the morning, I say, all right, how can I make this the best? I put this on Facebook. How can I make this the best morning right now? All right, I'm going to get up. Today I want to be fast. I want to get up. I want to get ready because I want to get out the door and finish my shopping for Easter, right? So like I had a little plan and I stuck to it, right? I always do my stuff in the morning for here, my TikTok stuff. But like I was able to stick to that and get up and I was out and I was back. I believe I got all that done this morning, right? So it's easier for me to say, all right, if I'm doing something that I don't really want to do, I'll say, you know what? How can I make the best of this thing right now? How can I make this fun? I talked about this twice in the Facebook group and in Patreon. I made a video, an audio on it too, because you're going to be able to pick them. You want to keep making it about how you feel and making the best of each moment. That's going to pick up more momentum in your life. You're going to have more positive experiences. Remember, everything's a reflection, reflecting back to you. So what's going to happen? People are going to be nicer to you. Like, you're going to be like, okay, start to happen. It's not you trying to control things so much with your thoughts. That's why you get synchronicities. That's why it feels like you get surprises. You control your thoughts so much. You're just flowing with life. You're making the best of each moment. So you're like, whoa, that just happened. That was cool, right? So it's like more synchronicities start to happen. Now, the universe does not test you at all, Sarah. The universe, it has nothing to do with any tests or any of that. It's all you and your energy and your beliefs. That's it. The only reason why people think they're being tested is because stories keep popping up because you're still reactive to them. And now you're knowing that you're supposed to feel good. Now you're knowing you can have whatever you want. Now you know you're moving towards those things. So when something doesn't match it, you go, whoa, is that another test? It's not a test. It's you that you're still reactive to it. That's all. So you just keep relaxing in those moments, keep quieting down, keep relaxing your body, and you're going to notice that it will pop up, but you notice that you're not reacting the same to it. It's not affecting you anymore. That's why I say you use everything in your experience to practice non-reaction. Nothing is testing you because your thoughts create your reality, and that's it. It's literally that simple. Your thoughts create your reality, and you're going to see it more, Sarah, the more you do these practices. Like, it's all me, 100%. All me. So no, it's not, no tests from the universe at all. And you'll see it down the road. You'll see, okay, I can see how I was still reacting to that a little bit. I can see how I was anticipating that. So a lot of times, you're going to start to catch down the road that you're anticipating things. You're like, oh no, this is going to happen. I'm not going to have money again. Oh, I only have this much money to spend. My bank, oh, I got to be careful about what I spend. You're going to realize it's all your thoughts the more you do these types of practices. And it's testing you at all. Because it's only you with your thoughts. So it would only be you testing you, right? Does that make sense? Hi, Gina. Well, Bae, you are too focused on SP. That's it. You said, can you explain if SP with a new person, how is that a reflection of me? Well, you're too focused on something else. You're thinking there's something outside of you and you're too focused on it. You're giving your power away. And you're still not stable in your energy. You don't feel good yet. You're needing this person to be a certain way and you want a certain, you're fixate on this relationship. I need this relationship to feel better. So you're creating unfavorable circumstances because you're giving your power away to this person and to this thing that you think is outside of you, but there's nothing outside of you. It's all you. And this is what we do with all kinds of things in our experience. There's something outside of us. We think that there's something separate from us. SP is not separate from you. And when you start to think that SP is separate from you and money is separate away, you get what I'm saying? So right now you're focused yourself and doing the practice that I tell you. Feel good on your own. Fill up your own cup. Do things for yourself. Be your own source of happiness. Find happiness without SP. Find happiness without money. Find happiness in this very moment. That will lead you to the healthy version of that relationship. But right now, you're giving your power away. I know you are. You're focused on SP because that's the only way SP can have another relationship with someone else, is that you're too focused on them and not doing the only practice, which is focus on you. So it's really simple. You just got to keep doing it. Right? My practices are you have to focus on you. Non-reaction is focusing on you. Quiet, calm, relax is focusing on you. Doing things for yourself is focusing on you. Filling up your own cup is focusing on you, right? I know, JC, I'm loving them. I was like, wait, I'm telling you. I was like, Kira a month ago, 2 months, let's say a couple months ago, was like, absolutely not. I cannot do these nails. I need my square, good old-fashioned square nails. And now I'm like, I want to start liking these nails because they're so girly. And I got them and I'm in love. Like, I literally can't stop, like, talking and doing. I can't do crap with them. I'm like texting and doing stuff like this, but I don't care. It's worth it. So it's just people think the universe is testing, Christina, because it's a lack of understanding. I would have thought the same thing in the beginning. So I don't even get mad at that because I get it. I get why people think you're being tested. It's just lack of knowledge. It's not it's not understanding yet. And I at one place thought the same thing, because you're like, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep on having no money? Why do I keep on like not getting what I want? Why does this story keep popping up? And you haven't gotten a grasp on the fact that it's you. That it's all you. So it takes practice to get that. So I mean, it's pretty normal to think that. Hi Ashley, how are you? So you got to look at it more like this, Bae. You got to say, if anything is reflecting back to me, and all you guys, that doesn't feel good, that's me. And I got to quiet that down, and I got to go within. And I got to start finding happiness on my own in what I'm living now, with the life I'm living now. So it becomes very clear to you where your focus is and should be. Even when you manifest your SP, when you manifest this relationship, when you manifest the money, you still got to do these practices. You got to make it about you feeling good now, always. Alignment is a forever practice. Non-reaction is a forever practice. You get better at it. You get more clear. You're always going to be expanding and growing. Like once you get this person, you're still going to need to be focusing on you and doing things you love, and not needing them to be your source of happiness, not needing money to be your source of happiness. That's giving your power away, right? Hi, Maritza. Asia, what triggered my awakening? Well, here's a little short, it's never short with me, but my story was that I was a stay-at-home mom. I loved being a stay-at-home mom. I just loved being at home with my kids. But because of the way I was programmed and conditioned, I knew that I had to get a job eventually, because that's how I was programmed, and that was the life I lived. Of like, we wanted more things, and we wanted more things for our home and all this. Like, I gotta play my part. I gotta go back. I can't be home all day, right? And I did want to do something, right? When I went back to work, that's what triggered my awakening, because I was like, this is torture. It felt like prison to me. I had to ask for off. I had to go by certain rules. So you got to think, I was home my whole life. I made my own rules, right? I was the boss, like in my home with my kids. And then I go back to work and I was like, I don't think so. So I went from job to job to job. I went back to school again, and I was like, it's not the jobs. It's not the people at the jobs. I got great jobs, and I always got the job. And I had great people at my jobs. I can't say one job that was bad for me. It was because I just didn't want a freaking job. I didn't want to have to go by these rules of 9 to 5, work overtime, ask for off, ask for vacation. I was like, absolutely not. So I started asking questions, and that's what led me to Abraham Hicks. Literally fell right into my lap, because I was like, something's not right here. Bob Proctor, all those people started coming into my awareness, because I was going within. I was always like this though. I was always positive. I always was quiet too. So I always would like reflect. I would always go within. So I think that's why it came to me pretty quick. I love Bashar. Yes, I do listen to Bashar. Bashar came later for me. It was Abraham was first, then Bashar. So I believe like Bashar is, I always say, a lot of people say Bashar is mean, but he's not. He's just right to the point, right? So you have to be ready for him. Where at one point I really wasn't ready for Bashar. But the more I did Abraham's practices, which are really just relaxing, I was able to hear him different. I just like his perspective on how, like, I like how he explains everything's a reflection. I like how he explains it. Like, this is a mirror, and how there's nobody in the room but you and your perception of everybody, which I kind of already knew that, believe it or not, like to a degree. I kind of knew that people were, my energy, I always did have a good energy about me, and I feel like I could always I always had fun. My life was good. Like, I didn't have a bad life. Like, I always had great experience. I manifested great things into my life. But when I went back to work, I felt like everything felt like, it just felt like, I don't know, I was going backwards or something. I'm like, this, like, I'm not happy anymore. Like, and what happened, we know what's so funny? Everything started to crumble in my life. When I started to wake up, I was like, I don't want to do this, and I started finding this information, like my kids' lives were everything, like that stuff was starting to, like everything was starting to fall apart. All my reflections that I thought I had it together, I thought I had a pretty good together life, everything fell apart for me. So it wasn't like super, super duper scary for me. It was just, I can see now why it happened that way, right? Hi, Stacy. Hi, Linda. You know what, Maritza, a lot of people tell me that. They always say Michael Singer. Yeah, I heard him one time on Oprah, talk on Oprah, like one of her soul things, but I never read his material or listened to him like that. I think he uses the word reaction, which stood out to me, which made me, like, that's what I say. I think he says non-reaction. I think that's why people, like, he sounds familiar. Let me see. How do you feel about Neville Goddard? So I listened to Neville too. I just didn't resonate with Neville as much as I did Abraham. I understood Abraham more. I don't think Neville is, I think he's great. I think he's super smart and his stuff's amazing. And I listened to him and Joseph Murphy a lot in the beginning, but I understood Abraham, where some people don't understand Abraham. And I did. Abraham clicked for me just like that. But I think Neville's teachings are amazing too. I hear them better through other people. So like I hear Neville's teachings, like the same way people don't understand Abraham, they hear Abraham better through me, right? So I feel like that's the good in all of this, is that we read, we listen, and we can interpret it through our own experience. And that's how I interpret things, through my own experience and what has changed for me in my life. And I'm able to give people tricks and tips that worked for me. I'm just giving you guys stuff that worked for me in my life and helped me move out of these unfavorable circumstances, right? So that's basically, it's all kind of the same message though. You create your own reality. Your thoughts, beliefs, you literally, and feelings create your own reality. Like, it's all the same. It's just some people understand him better. Some people understand Abraham better. Some people, right? So it's like, they're all great. They're all amazing. But like I said, I would hear Neville's teachings better through someone else teaching them. But they're all very similar to me though. At the same time, like people that just listen to Neville and they speak through his teachings, I'm talking about people that are really good, like that study Neville in and out. And they know they create their own reality, because anyone can study something and not really know what it means to create your own reality, right? But certain people I've listened to, I know they know what they're talking about. They know what they're talking about. They got it down. They know they create their own reality. Oh, Faith, I love it, girl. Hi, Emma. So, Ella, you said you're feeling anxious when people stare at me. Let me tell you, listen, these practices will get you out of that. You got to keep relaxing. You got to bring yourself back to self. Put like a protective shield over you. I know that sounds really silly, but you'd be surprised. You think people are staring at us and they're not, honestly. But I was always like that too, Li. Like, I just never wanted attention on me. I would always get nervous. Like, I would always get like, I was just very shy. But the more I did these practices, the more I relaxed my body, the more I stayed calm before I would enter certain situations, I realized like, nobody's really paying attention to me. And I was able to like shield myself. I say this all the time, Li. For a while, I was like zoned in my own world when I would go food shopping. Like, I was like, all right, it's just me. And I'd have these two shields up. I'd get exactly what I had to get. And I'd get out of there. And I'd be pleasant to the people and say hi. But I wasn't like looking around me. And you know what? I realized I don't really do that. I don't look around me when I'm doing stuff. I was at the mall today. I was like, get right what I need to get what I need. And then I don't look around me. I just don't. I'm in the zone and I do what I got to do. So the more you do these practices, you kind of just quiet that down more. You're able to not let that affect you. So just continue doing the practices. Yes, he is, right, Maritza? He's right to the point and he's very honest. So if somebody comes on and says something like, you know, this blah, 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 he says, well, why? Why do you feel that way, right? Like, he just says, you don't have to. He basically says, like, listen, he's letting you know, like, you have a choice.
You have a choice. You don't have to stay angry. You don't have to be angry. You don't have, like, he's flat out says it like it is. Oh yeah. I'm just reading. My advice for someone who wants to move out of. Any advice for someone? Are you saying that you want to move out of the house ASAP? The thing about setting those types of intentions, like I want to move out ASAP, is that you got to know that that's a strong desire and you're moving towards it. And that's the part that people they get stuck in. They're like, they keep themselves stuck where they're at because they're like, but how? But when? But where? But why? You're moving towards it at rapid speed. If you have a strong desire, listen, when I had strong desires to move, I had to, like when I got my first apartment, like through this process, let me tell you, I had no way of how that was going to work. Not enough money. I didn't know how it was going to work, but I got that apartment. I got out and I got an apartment. So let me tell you, if you have a strong enough desire, you'll get what you want. But you got to be like, I know it's done. And that's the part that people, they waver in the middle. They're like, they start to doubt, they start to worry, they don't trust the process. That's where you need to be. You need to be focusing on you and knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's all going to fall into place perfect. You don't got to do a thing. I really had to do nothing to get the first place that I got. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, Aim. You're saying, I'm stuck at my, where are you at? My in-laws, and I'm hating it. Well, that's what keeps you in those experiences, right? So you got to find a way to feel good in that environment. Use the practice, quiet, calm, relax. You know, people always say, like, you think you're going to leave and you're going to be good, but nah, it don't work that way. I'm just going to be honest, guys. Like, you move from place to place, you move from job to job, you move from person to person. You take yourself with you. It's all you and your thoughts and your energy. So you manifest those same situations everywhere you go. So my advice to you would be my advice for everybody. Practice feeling good with where you're at. Make the best of where you're at. Know you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And everything will fall into place perfectly. Everything will go according to plan. I don't know what you said, Charles. Hi, Christine. Hi, Clover. Want to make it a more relaxing experience, or like I set everything up and I really treat myself. Haven't put it. I finally found. Oh yeah, so these ones are actually. I got these from Target. I got these from Target. I love them. They're the circle pack. I don't know why. I've never gotten any that I didn't like there. The circle ones, I don't know what they're called, but it's just a circle pack. Comes with the glue, compile. And I think they just go on so nicely and so easily. I think I'm just getting good at putting on nails, to be honest. I think I've been doing it enough. So I was wondering, having to move out of a place I love, I suppose. Yes, so it is all about trusting. So I always tell people, my practices are helping you trust, though, right? You got to learn to, it's like I always say, you're letting go of control so you can get control back in a more positive way. But you have to make that transition. And how you do that is by working with your circumstances. What's your circumstance? I don't like where I live, or I don't want to move. Right? Well, you got to learn to work with it. Do these practices, quiet, calm, relaxed, right? So Charles, with you saying yours is the opposite. You panic. Oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my place. And then what happens? You lose your place. Versus Aim saying, I'm not happy here. Like, I want to move out of here. Well, guess what? Aim's going to stay, because that's what you're focused on. Oh my gosh, I don't want to lose this place. I love this place. I love it here. And that's what causes us to lose it. It's the same reaction. Right? So that's why I say the circumstance doesn't matter. You got to settle yourself down. You got to take a step back. You got to be able to see it in a different way. I've had so many things not happen because I stopped reacting. So many things that I thought were going to happen, they were a circumstance and they were scary. And it all came down to one thing, and it was me not reacting to it and using it to my advantage to get calm and quiet. And I promise you, it will not happen. It will go the way you want it. I almost had to leave my place, and I didn't want to leave it either. I was not ready. So I had to take that step back, Charles. I had to get really calm and relax and not react to that. And it all worked out. Same thing with my car. Literally, I'm talking about all this, through all these teachings that I teach you, that these experiences, these circumstances have happened to me, almost happened to me. But you really got to relax. You really got to stay calm. And you got understand that things will happen the way you want them to, but you got to let go a little bit. You're letting go of control. Hold on, guys. My phone is going to die, so I'm going to charge it. So does that make sense a little bit? I know at first you don't feel like you have any control over any circumstance. Because why? Why? The reason why is because you're reacting. You're just reacting. Charger works because sometimes this one is a little bit weak. Sorry, guys. Though, because they are, so that's really what it comes down to. It's all your reaction to those moments. It's all your reaction to those circumstances. If you can just calm yourself down, take a step back, it will work out for you. It will work in your favor. So what do you do when you lose your place? How do you stay positive? Well, at that point, once you lost the place, you got to continue. It's only one practice, Jay. You got to keep practicing it. If shit's not going your way consistently, you got to keep doing the practices. You got to keep calming yourself down. The reason why things ain't going your way is because you're focused on them not going your way. You still have a negative mindset. So that's what it is. I'm getting you out of that negative mindset. You got to do quiet, calm, relax, quiet, calm, relax. And honestly, Jay, that's all you're doing at first is quiet. Because if you're not getting your way and things keep not going your way, guys, it's all you. You create your own reality. So I'm telling you what to do. It's hard to stay positive at first. I couldn't stay positive at first. I now can. I could later, but at first I was too reactive. Those situations, those circumstances were dominant and they were scary. So I stuck to the practice. You got to stick to the practice, basically. Listen, you got to remind yourself you can't make a mistake. You're learning a new positive way to live your life so you can understand that you create your own reality. And you're unbreakable, guys. Like, you're getting better at this. Don't worry about things seem like they're not going your way. Just continue doing the practices so you can get the other side and realize it's all you, right? So you have to just keep applying the practice over and over again. Yeah, and Helen and Nancy says this, and I want to go into this a little bit. The thing about it is that the thing about it is how you know. So Nancy says sometimes it's old momentum playing out as well, and how you know if it's it's all on how it feels. So like stuff it's all old. Everything's old in this moment. It's from a past thought. So everything is old. It really comes down to, is it affecting you? And the thing is you're going to know, because you're going to be like, oh, wait, that don't make sense to me anymore. I get it. That didn't even upset me. I understand this now. So something's going to click. The more you do these practices, something's going to click where that story keeps popping up. Everything's old in this moment. It's from a past thought. But you're going to notice the ones that are affecting you still and the ones that aren't. And you're going to be like, whoa, that one's not affecting me anymore. And then you're going to get it. And that's when it shifts. That's when it starts to shift and work in your favor. When it's not bothering you. So that's how you have to look at it, guys. If it's still shaking you, if it's still upsetting you, and it continues to upset you, that's when you know you still have a belief there that you need to keep doing the practices with. That's it. That's it. You keep doing the practice, guys. I promise you, it is not more difficult than that. It is literally that simple. And eventually, that story is going to show up again. Like, usually you have spaces. I had spaces in between mine. And you're going to be like, whoa, I'm not hurt by it. I'm not upset by it. It's literally unbothered energy. It's there. You see it. It exists, but it doesn't affect you the same way. Then you're going to start seeing that reflect back different, right? So think about it. Think about that. That's pretty powerful, right? So that's why you just keep applying non-reaction and knowing, okay, you be honest. I was honest. I'd be like, all right, that's still bothering me. All right, I'm still focused on lack of money. Straight up, I can admit it. And what do? I get calm, I get quiet, I relax my body, and I redirect my focus to all the things that I have going for me. And I focus on things that feel good, and I go back to that stuff. And that's what breaks down the things that don't serve you as well, right? So you just keep doing it, and you'll start to get it, and you'll start to see, I create my own reality. I'm the creator of my own reality. I am in control. I am the boss. It's all my thoughts. And that's freedom. That's freedom, right? That's why at first you're doing my meditations, right? Stick to those meditations. They're so powerful, guys. So freaking powerful. There's you listen to them as you're going to sleep. Listen to them. Listen, I have iPods too, but you get these because they stay in your ear all night. They don't die. I listen to these at night. I listen to my stuff all night long as I'm sleeping. And if it falls out, which these usually don't, I pop it right back in as I go to sleep and as I wake up in the mornings, because that's reprogramming in a very powerful way. Those meditations are very powerful. It's telling you about that, how your most abundant timeline is right now. Everything is happening right now. Everything is done right now. And it's really getting you in the present moment and to live in the present moment. It's reminding you that there's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to fix. There's nothing you need to figure out. That's it. The universe wants to spoil you. That one. You are so worthy. You are worthy because you exist, guys. You are worthy because you freaking exist. Because you said, I want to have this amazing experience and live my best life and discover the fact that I create my own reality. I want to know this now. We're all getting the opportunity to know now that we create our own realities based off our thoughts and beliefs, right? So this is a great time to be alive. You're pure freedom. But it's always going to come back to, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment. And you always want to remind yourself that when you're starting to feel anxious, when you're starting to feel like it's not here yet, it's not working. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment, because you are perfect in this moment. Everything is perfect in this moment. There's so much abundance around you. And that's why when people say, how do I get my SP? Stop trying to get your SP, because you are giving your power away. There's so much abundance around you. Do you think your SP is going to be your end all be all and now you're good, life is good? They finally came back? No, you're not. You're not. There's so much abundance in each moment. How would you feel if you had your partner? How would you feel if you had money? How would you feel if you had all the things you wanted? You'd be happy. You'd be free. You'd be like, yes, this is life. I love it. I'm so happy every day. What am I going to do? What can I do today? I can do whatever I want today. I could do whatever I want. Start doing that now with the no money. Listen, you go to the dollar store and you have the best day ever there. You can find ways. You can find ways to make the best of where you're at. If you want this, you will. If you want this enough, you will find ways to make the best of where you're at. And it's not hard. You just have to say, you know what? I'm going to make the best of this moment. And I'm going to make the best of this moment. I'm going to make the best of this moment, right? So you keep doing it and that momentum's going to pick up more. You're going to start to favor the more positive. You're going to start to access more abundance because you're already feeling abundant, right? So that's how it starts to work. And you're like, whoa, I'm having fun. My life is good. And you start to feel worthy. You start to feel worthy because you're getting more experiences coming to you just by being okay with where you're at. Your life starts to get better and you're like, oh God, I feel like, yeah, I am deserving of these things, right? It's building that security within. It's building that stability within. It's building that, it's letting you know that it's only you. You are the center of your universe because you're the only one in your universe. I always say it's you in a bubble. You're in a bubble. You're just in your own little universal bubble, right? And anything you send out bounces back. Think of it like that. Anything I say, it's bouncing right back to me. It's literally that simple. So what are you sending out? Are you sending out, I'm in the most amazing relationship and I know, and that's it? I have my dream home? Are you saying, I'm taking forever? Does this even work? I don't think this works. Manifestation don't work, right? Or are you saying, is there anything else I got to do to get it? Do I got to visualize more? Do I got to affirm more? Are you second guessing things, right? So you got to think about it. Whatever you're sending out, you're going to get back. Are you waiting for a manifestation? Well, guess what? You're going to get back more waiting. So just be honest with yourself. What am I in right now? What energy am I in? You want to be in that fulfilled energy. I'm happy where I'm at. I love my life where I'm at. I feel good where I'm at. I can find things to feel good with in this moment. I can do things in this moment that feel good. People that say like, what did you do? What do I do? Guys, I say this all the time. I would put music on and clean my house. That's it. I would go get nails. I would say, all right, let's go get a new set of nails and put some nails on. And that takes some time. When people start to say, I'm bored, I've been doing these practices for a while, and now I'm just bored. Well, guess what? You send out boredom, you get more boredom. Occupy that space. All right, let me do something I love. Let me do my hair. Let me change my hair color. Let me call a friend. Let me go out with a friend. Let me take a walk. Like, there's 1,000 things you can do. If you're saying you're bored, you're going to get back more bored. So you got to be aware that everything is reflecting back to you, right? It's a mirror, it's a reflection, and we can't get away from that. Thank you. Hey, Nathan. Wait, Nathan, I almost died. No, that sounds like very harsh saying that. But when you wrote what you wrote in that comment, that all I seen was the top part. I went, oh, and then I'm like, oh my God, Nathan. Yes, right, Andy? Yeah, like appreciate it, right? And appreciation starts to feel normal. Oh, thank you, Lorelai. Thank you. I love that. Linda, yes, Linda's story is so powerful, so powerful. I mean, she jumped. She jumped timeline. Linda jumped timelines. And what happens a lot when people usually find me, they're carrying on to so much resistance, and things manifest pretty quick because they're like holding on to all this resistance. And it's just relaxing. That usually lets things start to come in. So with Linda, she kept asking questions. She was like, I don't know what to do. I need to change my life. I need to change my life. So she found me, and everything started manifesting very quickly for her because she had all this resistance and didn't know how to fix it, but she knew she wanted change, right? That's what happened to me as well. Like I was asking all these questions, but I was like, I don't know. Like, how the heck do you, like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And then when Abraham came into my life, things were moving very quickly for me in a very positive way. Who got that Friday feeling? I don't even never know what day it is, Andy. Nancy, and yesterday in the Zoom, someone was saying how my connection went weird. Someone was saying how they like the word soften. It was Miranda. She's like, like I didn't resonate with a lot of the things like relaxing your shoulders or any of that. She's like, but when you would say softening, that would click for me, right? That would click. And you know what? That's what it is. Like you hear things in different ways and things may work for you. That's why in Lazy Manifesting, it's said in all different ways. The message is always the same, right? In all that audio that's in there, the message is always the same. It's just said differently each time because it clicks for you in different ways as time goes by. And I get more clear too, and it gets easier for me to explain it, but you're getting clear along the way. The new stuff that I have coming out, I have something put together, but I might add it to this one that I have going because now I'm really moving towards how everything's a mirror reflection, and I'm even getting into manifestation a little bit, and everybody loves that topic. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you can make it fun, moving towards what you want, make it more fun, not so boring, not so repetitive, not so robotic. So I'm going to start getting into that a little bit more with Lazy Manifesting. By the way, Lazy Manifesting is on sale today. It's an extremely low price. I don't always throw these sales out, but this is a really good one, guys. So if you don't have it and you've been thinking about it, get it. I also have a really cheap, it's like a $10 bundle of all my ebooks that I've created like in the beginning, little mini ebooks There's a meditation in there, and there's an audio talking about why people struggle to manifest. So it's a good little bundle if you don't have my ebooks from the beginning. So funny how people try to be jumping on your lives. Right, Nancy? And she was like, oh, I just, that made sense to me, just softening the body, right? Because how I used to explain it, and I explained this in Lazy Manifesting, is those dominant stories are hard. So you got to do the opposite. You got to soften, right? So you got to soften your body because those dominant stories are hard. They're hard. They feel like fact to you. They feel like truth to you because you've been living them for so long. You've been living these programs for so long. So they're hard. So you got to do the opposite and soften your body. Thanks, Linda. And keep softening your body. Now, eventually, you're going to know how to work with them. Who was just talking about this today? I heard somebody say it, and I don't know who it was, but they were saying the same thing that I say. How you think you're being a doormat. You're not a doormat. You're working with your circumstances to move towards best and better. You got to learn how to not react to them. You got to get calm and quiet. But if you keep thinking in your mind you're a doormat, you're going to get more experiences that show you you're a doormat. So that's still a belief as well. But you're going to learn the more you soften at first and you just do those practices, you're going to understand that, wait, all I got to do is cooperate with this thing because that keeps me in a flow-like energy and that moves me towards best and better. And it's that because you're staying positive in it. That's the point. You'll be able to start being positive the more you practice non-reaction. At first, you're not able to be positive. You're too reactive and those stories feel scary. Flat out, they feel scary. So the more you do practice non-reaction, you eventually are able to work with them because you understand this more. You understand the power in positivity. You understand the power in working with that. I don't like to use the word positive because it's like, it just has a bad rap anymore, but you're just learning to work with it. You're well aware that you created it and you're well aware of how to get out of it now. Happy Friday. Yes, that was I. I know. I call you I on here, Miranda. But I just, it's funny because like when you say that, I used to say that a lot in the beginning. How that made sense to me too, because the stories feel like fact. They feel real. They feel like truth. That's why they feel hard. They feel real. They feel dominant. They feel fact. So you have to do the opposite and you got to become jelly. You got to become like jelly. Good morning, Jamie. Linda, I was at the store already and I was like thinking tacos too. And I ended up not getting anything for dinner, but I might go back. I might get something on the way home to make because I'm going to go tanning after this. That's cool, Andy. A radio DJ? I'm so glad you were able to jump on, Nathan. I trusted the process from the beginning and I didn't know. Right, Linda? You did. You did trust it. Hey, Mike. Hi, Susan. Yeah, it's actually nice today. I think it's like going to be 57 maybe degrees. Hi, Brian. How are you, Brian? Hi, Raquel. I love this. What Faith said, guys, really, I'm pinning this. You never go back. And I think, like, this is so true. And I've noticed this. You will literally never go back. So and this, I used to say this all the time, you're always moving forward. And that was one thing I recognized, is that you never go back. Once you hit that higher vibration, once you hit that higher energy, once you start experiencing, like you get it this way because you master it, you're solid in it. You don't go back. You don't go back. So just always remind yourself that you are always moving forward. You just get better at it. That's it. When you practice non-reaction, you keep moving up that emotional scale. Seriously, she's so right there. You just might not notice it at first, right? But you will start to see it. Oh, Caitlin. Have fun, Caitlin. Oh, I'm so excited for you. That's so exciting. Hi, Bobby. You get to hold a little baby. A little baby. Can only mold the energy in the nail, match the energy of the desire, and it's yours. Right, Daniel? Hi, I just got out of an 18-year-old long relationship. Where do I go from here, Mo? Where do you go from here, Mo? This is a perfect time for you to focus on yourself, Mo, right? This is the best time to focus on yourself. You got out of an 18-year long relationship. Focus on you, feeling good on your own, filling up your own cup, doing things for yourself, doing things you love, finding happiness on your own is the best thing. Because if you're even interested, I don't know what you're manifesting or what you're moving towards, what intentions you're setting for yourself, but if you want a healthy relationship, you're moving towards that, right? If you want to be single for a while, you have that choice now, right? So it's really about, you get to set any intentions you want, Mo, but now know you're moving towards whatever that may be. Focus on yourself, feeling good now, filling up your own cup, finding happiness in each moment. That's always the practice. Like, people always say, like, where do I start? What do I do? Well, my practice is the same for everyone, always. It's the same for me. Even now, I set intentions. I know I'm moving towards them, right? But it's not about that. It's about me finding happiness now. It's about me making peace now. It's about me making the best of now, knowing I'm exactly where I am. What can I do now to feel good? I know what I once done. It gets easier to focus on your desires and believe in your desires because now you know how this reality works. And that's another reason why you want to do these practices, is because you don't doubt any of this anymore. You know that you can have whatever you want. You know that what you want's done, but you're not fixated on it in a lack mindset because you know it's done, because you know how this reality works. At first, you don't trust. You don't believe in any of this crap. You're like, it's not done. There's no way. What do you mean every reality exists? Hi, Cece. Thank you, Cece. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why these practices are so powerful, because you start to, these concepts start to sink in more, right? When you listen to Lazy Manifesting, I talk about these concepts over and over again. Every reality is happening now. Every possibility is happening now. And it's done now. So that starts to sink in. Oh, of course it's done, because everything's done now, right? So you don't second guess your desire anymore. And then you get to a place of feeling good now. It's easy for you to focus on what you want. Plus, you get more clear on what you want. All around, you can't go wrong with this practice. Ah, brother, yes. Yeah, you do at first, right? Because you know why? Like brother said, I've gone back plenty of times to the 3D. Right? But we do, because you're programmed that way. It takes, like, people always call this delusional, but I don't call it delusional anymore. It never felt delusional to me because it was such a gradual process for me. So I never really, this is how it's supposed to be, guys. This is how you're supposed to live your life. So I never resonated with, you got to be delusional. You don't got to be anything. This is how you're supposed to be. And when you do these practices, you realize this is normal. That wasn't normal. Reacting to circumstances wasn't normal, but we did it because that's how we were programmed, right? This is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be unbothered. You're supposed to be laughing things off. You're supposed to be delusional. It's not delusional. It's normal. You're supposed to feel good. You're supposed to be living your best life. You're supposed to have amazing relationships. Life is supposed to be fun. Life is always supposed to be working out for you guys. Like, that's normal. Anything else that you're experiencing that doesn't feel good, that's not normal. That's programming. That's conditioning. That's stuff you picked up and bought into. So I love that you say that because it's like, it's another thing that we've been lied to about. Is like, that's why people say you got to be delusional. No, you got to be normal. Delusional, you don't got to be that. That's what's normal, right? Right? Do you get? So that's why that never resonated with me. Being unbothered and just feeling good and feeling at peace is normal. That should not be called delusional. That is normal. And that's what I'm trying to get my point across. Yes, I know, Maritza. I was saying, I got to get, who asked me to get the one video? I'm going to put a TikTok on that someone said, explain which one they wanted up. So I got to get that one up too. I got to get up on these. This is hard when someone you care about is stuck. Well, here's the thing, Gina. This is where you're giving your power away and you're thinking there's things outside of you, right? You're saying it's so hard when someone else is stuck in the 3D. No, that is because now there you go. You're basing how you feel on others. You're giving your power away. You're basing how you feel on others. That's not my practice. That will keep you stuck. And you will start to see more positive reflections of those people that you think are stuck because you create your own reality. So you're thinking that up and you're creating that. I'm telling you, I got a huge family. I'm telling you right now, you're creating that in your reality. And everyone in my life reflected back my stuff. So that's another excuse. There is no problem. There is nothing you need to fix. There is nobody you have to fix. It's all your thoughts. You create everything in your experience. And if you say, I can't, it's very hard for me to watch everyone else. They're negative and they just ain't getting this and they're living crappy lives, but it's so hard for me to live my best life. That's a victim. And so it's like, you got to be really honest, right? In that moment. When you start to feel good, you cannot get nothing but positive reflections back. Because if it's you looking in a mirror, you're negative, you're still stuck in the 3D. Boom, right back at you. You're still stuck in the 3D. And I'm not being rude, but that's what this experience is. It is a reflection of you, right? So we got to really just start catching those moments when we're like blaming others for the way we feel. And we use that as a reason why we can't move forward, right? No, it's about you feeling good in each moment. And the more you feel good and you take responsibility for how you feel in each moment, not needing others to be a certain way, not needing to fix anything, knowing there is no problem, there's nothing you need to figure out. That's what will keep you moving towards best and better. And they can only reflect back positive if you're truly in that state, right? So I know it's like, it really is you're having your own experience with your beliefs and in your thoughts. And it takes practice to really get a grasp that whatever you're saying is whatever you're going to get back. So, and I had to go through it too. Trust me. I had all really positive reflections in my life. Like I always used to say, I have no enemies. If you don't like me, it has nothing to do with me. And I had great relationships with people. But I started creating a little unfavorable as I was learning this because there's a lot of information out there. And I was researching a lot at first. And that's why I tell people to take your time, to be careful. They will say things like, be careful of there's negative people in your life and be careful of them, be weary of them. Well, that's fear-based. That's fear-based. Nobody's trying to hurt you. Nobody can hurt you in your experience. That's a belief that you even think somebody can hurt you in your experience, that somebody can be mean to you in your experience, that somebody's jealous of you. That is all bullcrap. That's your belief. So when we really make it about us and we really do these practices, we start to see it's me. I can't blame nobody anymore. If I'm saying somebody's negative in my experience, guess what? That means I'm still negative in my experience. I'm holding on to a belief there, right? So Trust you me, it takes practice, guys. I'm not sitting here on my high horse like I haven't been through it all, because I have. But let me tell you, it is 100% us. Oh, sorry, I invited someone by an accident. If I push the wrong button, I accidentally invite someone to something. Did not mean to do that. And these nails ain't helping sometimes, but I don't want to take them off because they make my fingers look so long. Right? What Nathan said. Nathan says, take that pause. That pause, there's so much power in the pause. There's so much power in taking that step back. There's so much power in relaxing your body and being able to see it in a different way, right? Like we've created these stories with people in our experience. And I ain't saying I'm perfect and I walk in every environment and there's not somebody that might slightly catch me off guard sometimes. I'm human too, but I still know it's me. And I still know it's my responsibility to keep my energy up and see it differently. And every time I do it, it works in my favor. So you got to prove it to yourself that, okay, I might have this person in my life that I kind of use it as an excuse to not feel good. And I'm going to change that. I'm going to stay in a good energy, and I'm going to stay kind, and I'm going to stay polite, and I'm going to stay nice, and watch the difference in that conversation. Watch the difference in that relationship, and you will show yourself that it's all you. So you got to practice it. You got to show yourself how powerful you truly are. Yes, Maritza. And again, it all goes back to non-reaction, and it all goes back to sticking to it and literally just doing it over and over again. And that's what people, they say like, but. And I'm like, no, there's no but, because that's what you're going to experience. And if you keep saying but, you got to literally keep doing the practice, right, Bobby? You got to keep doing it over and over again. And it's annoying because it's all you're doing. And we want to get to A to Z. Like we want to get to that thing now. And you can't get there until you do these practices, until you release the programming that doesn't serve you. If you want to get there in the right way, if you want to know that you are the creator of your own reality, you have to do this for a little bit. You have to practice Listen, I say this and I really mean this, guys. If you can dedicate yourself to non-reaction, quiet, calm, relax, anytime anything doesn't feel good, you will get it quick. You got to dedicate. But when you keep saying, when you vent to friends, when you complain, when you say this doesn't work, you can even say those things, but say it to yourself in a quiet voice. I used to get neutral and I'd say, this ain't working. What am I missing? You're not missing anything. Everything's going according to plan. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And you have to remind yourself that, and you got to settle down. Yes. And Bobby, like what Abraham says, alignment, what does she say about like, you got to do it forever, right? It's not like, oh, here you go. You're now aligned for the rest of your life. But you do get better at it, and you get more creative, and you start to have more fun with it, and life starts to become more fun. You start aligning with more things you love to do, and you know that it's about making the best of those things. So for me, it's like, even with what I'm doing, I say to myself, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, does this not work for me anymore? Am I getting bored? And I'm like, no, it's how you're perceiving it. You can make the best of it. Like, you can find a way to have fun with it and make it fun, right? I'm not like, yeah. And then it's like, I just got to change my perspective just a little bit and it all makes sense. And I'm like, oh yeah, duh. I was just seeing it. I was maybe I was taking something a little personal, or maybe I was reactive, and you always want to take that step back to see something differently. Yes, it's not like a college degree. Exactly. I love that. It's so true. It's so true. But now I know better. Now I know they create my reality. What was that, Cece? I had two friends fighting and I got between them to stop them, and I wish. Oh, but see, yes, I love that. Cece goes, I had two friends fighting and I got in between it. She says, but I wish I did it. She goes, but I now know. I now know that she knows that now. She gets it. Wait, I don't have to jump in. I created it anyway, right? So it's like, I started getting that too. I used to be that person. peacemaker, peacemaker. Let me get in the middle of this. Let me help you guys work this out, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely. I had to stop doing that. And everything started to work itself out. It's because you create even that. You create the drama. You create the drama between others. I'm telling you, it's freaking crazy. It's freaking crazy. And the more I would step back and I would not get involved, it took me practice to do that. It all worked itself out. Those relationships became amazing. I was creating crappy stories saying like, oh, like, yeah, they get along with me, but they don't get along with that You create and it's so empowering and it's so freeing. Thank you, Faith. It's so empowering and freeing to know that I create everything. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because you sit back and you're like, damn, I created that. Like, I literally created that, right? And you can kind of see where you probably did. Like, it's kind of like, it's trust me, it's so freeing and it becomes fun. Right? And that, Bobby, that changed my life. When I started saying, when I heard it differently, like, you hear this stuff a lot, guys, but sometimes it doesn't sink in right away. And when I started saying in each moment, there's nothing or no one that I need to fix. There's nothing or no one that I need to fix because there's nothing going wrong. And I don't have to figure anything out because everything's going according to plan. That was another major shift I had in my experience with people, places, and things. There's no problem. There's nothing going wrong. There's no one or nothing I need to fix. It's mind-blowing. When you start really catching those moments and you say that to yourself, you calm yourself. Wait, I don't got to fix anyone. I don't got to fix anything. There is nothing wrong. Everything's going according to plan. There's nothing I got to figure out. You have this major shifts in your experience. Oh my God, it is freedom. So just don't be so like, keep listening. Like you listen this live, listen to it over and over again. And these concepts are going to start to sink in more. You're going to be like, oh wait, yeah, I'm getting it now, right? I heard it. Abraham used to say it all the time, but it didn't start clicking until I was having my own life experience. And I was doing these practices, right? Over and over and over again. I'm like, oh wait, okay, there's no problem here. There's not, right? So like you just keep doing it. Yeah. Do we just say we all get along? Do we just say? I don't say that. I mean, you can say that. You can say whatever feels good to you, Cheryl. I didn't really say much of anything other than there's nothing I need to figure out. There is no problem. See, the thing is that the more you start feeling better, Cheryl, just make it about you, these concepts start to click easier. The more you relax, the more you're not so reactive. It's just automatic that you realize, wait, there is nothing I have to fix. Like it just starts to click at the right time. But what you say in that moment there, it really doesn't matter what you say. I always say this. It doesn't matter at first. When you're still doing these practices, you're kind of just doing whatever you can do to release resistance, whatever you can do to feel better. And it's going to change as time goes by. What you say in that moment is going to change, right? So say whatever feels good. If that feels good to you, you can say it. You could say everything's going according to plan. Something like, I think about things that I used to say before I knew this. I used to say that I have no enemies. Like I get along with everybody. You can say that. Just say I get along with everybody. It's easier to make it more about you. At first, I felt like as much as I could bring it back to me over and over again. This is all me. This is all me. Because you're so easy to start making it about someone else and getting so involved in that story. And you create more resistance and you start to create more unfavorable. So just always bring it back to you and say, you know what? I get along with everybody. I don't have any enemies. Everything always works out for me. Everything's always going according to plan. And just do your best to bring it back to you. This is why I don't agree with the teachings of persisting in a new story with someone. Because when you change, everything changes and you're the only change. So why would you be even persisting in a new story? It seems just like a waste of time. And it doesn't, that never made sense to me. You never have to persist in a new story with anybody because when you start to feel good and you start to feel fulfilled and you're happy, everything reflects back positive. I know. Miranda, I got to get the one up. Somebody asked me to get the one where I was wearing my hoodie and I was in the house, and I want to get that one up for them. And then this one I'll try to get up tomorrow. Yes, 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 yes. And this is gold. And this is what I've learned. And this is what people don't want to accept. And this is probably where a lot of people are teaching. People think you got to change your thoughts. And this is why you want to be open to trying to make it about how you feel more. And practicing non-reaction will help you do that. And this is why you want to do the quiet, calm, relax, because it's all about the atmosphere. It's all about making the best of this moment and making peace with this moment and relaxing into this moment. Everything else takes care of itself. And a lot of people are still trying to control their thoughts. They're doing mental diets. Whoa, well, hell no. Like, that sounds like a full-time job, right? So if you want it to be easier, you got to do this for a little bit, though. You got to practice non-reaction for a little bit so you can get more sensitive to how you feel. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're kind of not getting anywhere. You're going to be like, why isn't this working? I'm on a mental diet. I'm changing my thoughts, but yet I still keep going back to old patterns. The patterns can only be broken by non-reaction. The patterns can only be broken by non-reaction. You can change your thoughts. You can experience new things by thinking new thoughts and bringing things in. But if you do not practice non-reaction, keep yourself in cycles, and you're going to be like, why? Why am I still experiencing the same crap? But I'm getting these new things. I'm getting the money. I'm getting the person. I'm still triggered. I'm not even happy. I'm doing a job that I don't even love. I got the money. I did that. Okay? So you gotta practice non-reaction. To me, there's no other way around it. There was no other way around it for me. I didn't know why. I was like, all right, I got the job from home. I'm making more money than I ever made. Why am I still not happy? Why am I still not happy? I was still running on programs. I was still limiting myself. I was still reactive. I didn't have control of my reality yet. I wasn't in control. So you got to do these practices so you can be in control. Because think about it. Are you really in control if you're just constantly trying to like be on top of your thoughts and change your thoughts and write your thoughts down, affirmations? I am awesome. I am worthy. I am a millionaire. That feels like I am not in control. That feels like I don't trust. That feels like I'm focused on believing that I don't believe, right? So the more you start to align, you start to feel better. You know anything is possible. You know it's done. You know that the minimal effort at best to get these things into your life, right? So you start to feel abundant. You start to feel worthy. You start to know that's why you're here. It's about really reprogramming your mind with these powerful concepts, not these, he loves me, he loves me, he loves me, he loves me. Why are we wasting our time on that? You're going to get that and a million things more. But if you're wasting your energy on these types of affirmations, you're wasting your damn time. You got to think unlimited. You got to think outside the box. You got to think big. I want to reprogram my mind with some big stuff, with powerful stuff. Not, he's obsessed with me. He's obsessed with me. He loves me. He only thinks of me. I am really not making fun, guys, but like truthfully, that's where a lot of people's attention is going and focus is going. And it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time because if you do it this way, you're going to realize you don't have to do any of that because you're self-empowered and you know how this reality works and you know it's only you. It's only you anyway, right? So you want to just make sure you're entertaining the right affirmations. I'll definitely get this one up. I promise. I'm sorry. I'm cracking up with Cece Root. Cece says, why would you want someone to be obsessed with you? That's terrifying. Now, this is just stuff that I catch from time to time. Like, you catch different things being taught, and you're like, that doesn't make sense to me. And it doesn't make sense to me. And I understand why it doesn't make sense to me, right? So it just makes me more aware of where our attention and focus is going, why we're manifesting and what we're moving towards, right? You don't have to say a million times over again, like you want to create affirmations that have the least amount of resistance too. So like if you're moving towards money and you're saying I'm a millionaire and you're poor, that really? So you say, like the one affirmation that I sent out was like, my money's always increasing, right? You want to tap in and say like, what feels best? What feels best is that, you know what? I know the money's coming. I know it's coming. I feel it coming, right? So that feels good right now while you're negative in your bank account. Like you gotta work with what you got, and you gotta find ways to slightly shift it, not jumping to skyrocketing to I'm a zillionaire. Like really when you're negative 100 and you got somebody calling you to pay the bills, like we got to work with what we got, guys. Like literally that's the best way to go about it. And that's what actually moves you to where you want quicker. And you got to know you can't make a mistake. You're just going to get better at it, guys. And you got to let things evolve. You got to let things unfold. Like for me, it was like getting good at talking about this. It was getting good at creating things to help people, right? To believe in what I was creating, to believe in myself. It wasn't just skyrocketing to I'm a zillionaire. No, like there's a process in this. You got to trust the process. So like you don't want just that thing either. You want the journey. You want the fun. You want to wake up every day and say, I have all these things that I love to do. Not like one little thing like, oh, I got the person. Now my life's complete. I got the person. Now I'm fulfilled. Does that really make sense? So just ask yourself those types of questions. Where am I limiting myself? Where am I limiting this? And ask yourself as you're doing, I knew when I was doing any type of affirmations in the beginning, I knew I was desperate for certain things. Like feels like very desperate energy. And that's what made me go within and say, there's got to be another way. This feels desperate. This feels like I'm chasing. This feels like I don't believe in me, that I'm worthy, right? So you want to break down those walls. You want to break down those programs that say you are not worthy of having these experiences. And that, again, is where you want to do non-reaction and practice doing those practices. Yes, exactly, Bobby. We're in it right now. We're in the vortex right now. We're all millionaires. And like Abraham used to say, and this is what I've noticed in my life, when you take money out of it, it's a game changer. Take money out of it. You have to start saying, how can I make this fun? How can I make this moment fun? How can I make this fun? What I'm doing fun? For me, it's like, I love these lives. They're fun for me. The Zoom calls are fun for me. Like, I love jumping on, talking with you guys. And I like having sales. Like, that's fun to me. I love doing sales. I love putting sales out there. So like, I got to have fun with it. Otherwise, it feels like a job. I feel like I'm like a robot, or I'm being bossy, like buy my stuff, you know? So there's a way, there's a flow to it. And there's something that'll work best for you. When people say like, to me, like, how do you do it? Or what do you do? I'm like, well, listen, this is my way. I can tell you, but it may not resonate with you. It may not click with you, right? This is just my path, and I've trusted it this far, and this is what it brought me to. And I trust it moving forward as well, you know? So like, I don't doubt it. I trust it because it's gotten me to this point, right? And you just keep finding what feels best for you in the moment, and it may change, and you're going to grow with it. I've gotten so much better at even talking about my products. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to be salesy. I didn't want to do any of that. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work because I don't know how to incorporate it into my stuff, right? Because I've never done that. I was never like a salesperson type. I hated salespeople. I was like, that was a belief I had. I'd be like, are you trying to sell me something? I'd be like, hang up on them. People be at my door trying to sell me water. I'd be like, and I learned how to lighten up around it. And I learned how to, like, when they would come to my door and they were like these young kids, like doing a job or whatever. And I'd be like, I would listen to them. I wasn't going to buy the water, but I would listen to them. And I'd be like, you know what? Like, they can do their job and I can just say, I don't want it. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, stop trying to sell me something. And that's how I started looking at my stuff. Like, well, first of all, I got to talk about it so people know that I have stuff. Second of all, if you don't want it, just scroll past it. So I had to start changing my mindset on sales, because that was uncomfortable for me, because I never liked salespeople. I hated salespeople. So I had to break down those programs. So when something that we don't like pops up, it's pushing us forward. Yes. So when something, Raquel, pops up that doesn't feel good to you, it's helping you, well, it's serving you. So you got to look at it that. It is serving you. It's helping you move forward. In that moment, you just want to relax your body, calm yourself down, and try to see, like, you can even stop, Raquel, and say, all right, I can see why this would be moving me forward. It's helping me focus more on my own life, my own independence, my own successes. If I sit here angry at this story, I'm wasting my energy and time, and I'm going to go back to trying to figure it out. So stop in that moment and say, you can see where it's serving you. Oh, it's helping me move towards a great relationship with this person. If I stay here angry, frustrated, mad, and argue, that's not serving me. That's keeping me stuck in this experience, right? So in that moment, stop and take a step back and see. You can see it's pretty obvious what it's moving you towards. And if you react and get upset and argue with it, try to figure it out, it keeps you in it, right? So you want to learn how to work with that circumstance. I say they're all slightly different, but they're kind of the same at the same time. The stories can be different, but in that moment, you got to find a way to work with it so you can move forward, right? No problem. Hi, Aaron. Oh my God. Who was that, Nathan? You know Nathan's in the house when I get that icon pop up. Oh wait, did Cece ask about the vortex? Cece, you don't know about the vortex? That's an Abraham term. I don't really say it much. I never really say it. But that's all your desires. That's everything that you want. That's all your intentions. It's all your dreams. It's all the things that you desire and want. But how do you stop having work trauma conversations with colleagues? You got to remember, Kumo, and I know this is, thank you, Nicole. So I know it's tough to understand at first, but we create our realities, we create everything in it. So even the drama at work, in some way, shape, or form, it is your creation. So in those moments, you got to find a way to just stay calm and quiet in those moments. We actually had this conversation on Zoom, and I kind of was giving my input. What I started to do, I was using them to my advantage. So what I would start to do is you'd be in it, right? We've all been there. And I would just stay quiet in those moments. And I would slightly kind of move out of it. I'd be like, oh, I got to go do something, or somebody's calling me. So I would remove myself kindly. I wasn't judging them because I created it too. I was in it too. So you softly move out of it. Eventually, the more you do these practices, Kumo, you find ways to change the subject. You really do. And you find ways to help people to see it differently. But you'll know when it's time to do that without making it worse, if that makes sense. So just stay quiet and calm at first. Just go within in those moments. Just say, you know what? I used to do it too. Have compassion. I can't be judging anyone because I was involved in this stuff at one time in my life. And you just relax your body, soften your body. And like I said, you'll know how to change the subject. You'll know how to remove yourself. And literally, you won't see it anymore. I'm not even kidding. You will not see it anymore in your experience. No problem, Kumo. I know, Raquel. I'll do this one tomorrow. I'm going to get the one that somebody asked me to put up. If it goes a couple days, just remember what I was wearing and remember. Because that's what I say. She's like, put up the one with where you had your black hoodie on. And I'm like, was I in my house? Was I in my car? And she's like, you were in the house. So then I knew right away, right, which one it was. So I got to get that one up first. Thanks, Linda. And then this one I'll get up tomorrow because it takes a day. Thank you, Linda, for me to get these up on YouTube. It takes time. They have to process or something. I don't know. Navy Tech. This is actually new. I went to Target the other day, and of course I had to stop and see if they had any other colors. And they had a light pink one that I got. The only thing is it's extra small, so I'm like, it might be a little bit snug, but it was so pretty. So I think I'm going to wear that one on Easter. I never wanted to get the navy blue because I was like, I don't know if I'm a navy blue girl really. But then I was like, oh, but these nails will kind of look nice with the navy blue. So I got the navy blue. I'm mad about the to tell me he loves me and my focus that and not. Yeah, see, that's it. This is what, listen. Kia, it's not your fault. It's where you're learning your stuff from. And this is what I was just talking about. You have to focus on you and just know that it's done and that's it. but you got to be focusing on you and focusing on yourself and filling up your own cup. Take your focus off them. And they are you, literally. And you got to be feeling good on your own. And just, if anything, Kia, go to a general affirmation of I am in a beautiful, committed relationship. I am in a happy, committed, beautiful relationship. Let that be your only affirmation. Focus 100% on you, Kia. I'm talking, when they pop in your mind, I'm in a happy, committed relationship. All right, what can Kia do? Nails, hair, what can I do? Out with my friends, have a good time, right? So really, that's the way to do it. That's the way to manifest it, is simple, general affirmation when you think of them. Calm yourself down. It's done, committed, amazing, beautiful relationship, and bring it back to you. What can Kia do to feel good? What can Kia do to fill up her own cup? What do I love to do for me, 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 me? Literally. That's how you want it to manifest. Do they? Faith? I'll try them. Why not? You know? I go by the material too. That's what people used to say. Like I those other tank tops that go up here and they're like more of like a halter top. I would get so many compliments on them, and I'm like, listen, I got them from Rainbow. They were like $3.99. I don't care. I just want it to be nice. Like, this is a great material. This is stretchy. That's what I go for. I go for like the stretchy material. How can I manifest a healthy home? I love my current home, but okay, first stop telling that story, right? Because that's what you're focused on. So just know you're setting that intention and you're moving towards it. You're moving towards that. It really is that simple. But don't stay so fixated on the mold, right? Don't stay so fixated on that, because then it's like you're focusing on the unwanted. I know what I'm moving towards. Everything's moving me towards it, right? Whatever the home is. And the process will start to happen right away. It's happening right away. As soon as you set that intention, Blue, and guys, you're moving towards it. Everything is moving you towards it. It's when we doubt it. It's when we worry. It's when we don't believe in it. So it's always going to be the same practice. You just want to catch those moments when you're doubting it, when you're contradicting it, and you want to quiet that down and relax your body and say, wait, no, it's done. Okay, wait, the house is already done. It's already created for me. I'm moving towards it. And trust the steps that are happening to move you towards it. No problem. Oh, of course, Blue. I don't know. It wasn't me. It was someone else. You can. So my thing with time crunches is that I've manifested things in time crunches, but it's another cycle you want to get out of. And what I always say with time crunches is affirm. You just got to affirm like crazy, guys. But the thing is you just don't want to get in that trap. You don't want to get in that trap of it fills a quick void. It's a temporary fix. And you keep repeating these cycles of, I got to get this thing to feel better. I got to get this thing to feel better. So I tell people to really stay away from that. You can do it. I've done it. It's not the way to go about moving towards your best life, because you're going to always be thinking you got to get something to feel better, to fill a void. And it's just another trap, another cycle you want to get out of. All right. I am going to jump off because I want to go tanning before it gets a little crowded. Pokemon, catch the good vibes. I love it. Time is an illusion. And I know that's hard to understand too, because I still use time, right? I use time for things, but for me, I do my best to not focus on it, and it frees you. So how can you get time to work more in your favor? Is by, if you can, like on the week, if you work, I get it, it's a little tough, but any free time you have, if you have a day, try not to look at the time as you're getting ready. Try not to look at the time as you're doing things. Tell yourself, like, I'm just doing what I need to do, making the best of it, and not looking at the clock. So that's when you're going to start to, like, realize time is an illusion. Like today, I did not look at the clock at all. I had all these things I wanted to do. I wanted to do a live still. I want to go tan, and I got Easter stuff to do. I want to make dinner. But I was like, when I look at the time, I get anxiety. And I start to feel like I got to hurry. So I stop. I say, no, don't even look at it. So if you can do little practices to where you don't look at the clock, you're going to realize how it's all an illusion, because things just start to fall into place and things happen the way they're supposed to a lot quicker. It just runs smooth. But time creates anxiety, and anxiety creates that gap, right? That separation. So do little practices. I mean, I use it for things. I have Easter on Sunday, right? I'm using time, right? So just try to play. I would set things on my Alexa, like to remind me, so this way I could still flow throughout my day without looking at the clock every 5 seconds. So maybe set little timers throughout your, like in your phone or on Alexa to help you. Like I do it all the time, like with certain things. I try not to let time control my life, basically. All right, everybody, I'm going to jump off so I can get to my tanning salon. But I will try to, I think I'm going to jump on tomorrow because even though it's Easter Eve, I'm still going to do my normal routine. So I'll probably be on here tomorrow at some point earlier. I have some things I'm doing later in the day, but during the day, I don't really have anything. So I'm going to jump off, but everybody have a great rest of the day. I love you guys. I know, because you know why? Because other people's go off if I say it loud. Mine, not only mine, but your guys's will start going crazy. So bye guys. Thanks, Maritza. I was like, oh my God, girl, you're getting tan. I have not gone in so long. I usually go like at least once a week, but I think I might be going on like 2 to 3 weeks right now. So, all right, everybody, have a great day. I was going to say happy Easter, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. So have a great rest of the day, guys. If I don't see you, enjoy your weekend.